Hello fans of Marvel Heroes, Team Up 2.0 has been around for a while. A number of you has been asking me what I feel about Team Up 2.0. I wanted to really experience the whole process first and go through some numbers before I make any recommendation or some suggestion and so on. So I've been working through my roster of Team Up. It's taking a while even with the instant XP potion. But I managed to level a number of them and thought that maybe I share some initial findings with you. I'm still learning through this process, and but I'm very keen to just share with you what I've learned so far and hear from you as well. All right. So this video is about the Team Up 2.0 guide. What do you need to know? There will be other video coming up as well because it's very hard to cover the whole entire Team Up 2.0 in one single video. And the what sort of question you get answered in this video. Well, the first thing, of course, is about Team Up 2.0. Is it yay or nay, right? There are three different modes to Team Up 2.0: active, assist, and passive. Which one should I be using? And if you're using passive, what do you need to know? If it's active, how do you assign the power points? Is there a team up to rule them all, like just one team up and be happy with it, or how many team up do I need to unlock? And the last bit, which is the part 2 of the video for those who would like to stay on and to take a look at how I crunch some of the numbers for the team up, like I've done it for the heroes, and it turns out to be a lot easier when it comes to Team Up 2.0. All right, so I think that Team Up 2.0 is a yay. I've been using it. It is great if you, with the right gear, with the right build that you select in your Team Up point allocation, it could be like 5 to 10% of the hero's damage, and it's pretty significant. You can actually test it out with the Team Up pull-out, and of course the points have to be assigned correctly. I will show you how, and also you have to use some of the better Team Up gears that buff both the Team Up and your hero as well. But I'm seeing impact on the Team Up, and which is what it's supposed to be, yeah. And and using that Team Up as active from a number perspective, it could translate to about 500 damage rating, and it's quite substantial. Consider the fact that if you play Team Up as passive, you get about 2040 for generic damage type, or about 300 for like a specific like melee damage rating. So 500 is great. So what it means is that whether you take a team up out or not, it doesn't really matter. Of course, there are some consideration later on in this video to share with you. And I found that the team up is a lot tougher. The team up by and large can survive in almost many scenarios. There are some scenarios that team up may be struggling. I'll talk a little bit about it later. And now each of the 3 modes has a purpose, and it's great because in the past when Team Up 1.0 come out, I don't think it was ready for prime time, but I think they need to push something out to start generating revenue or whatnot, because there are fans out there who like to have it like from a costume perspective, cosmetic perspective, or just like a passive, and that's fine because back then it was just beginning. But now it's great because now the 3 modes, each one of them has its own purpose, and I'm going to share with you in which scenario would I use a Team Up for. All right. So I use a Team Up active mode for leveling, Cosmic Terminal if I want to run Bounty, Cosmic Patrol as well, but sometimes the Team Up may get defeated. But then if you look at Cosmic Patrol, even the heroes get defeated, so you can't really expect the Team Up to be able to survive those. With the right Team Up gear though, with the Cosmic version, the Team Up could be a lot stronger. One shot as well, you can use all Team Up, etc, etc. Assist, when you use assist, the Team Up base damage go up by plus 200%, and it lasts for half a minute. It's great for Cosmic Boss Rush because usually the Cosmic Boss, it depends on your gear and depending on your how much progress you have in this game, it could last something about from maybe less than 10 seconds to 30 seconds and so on. So with half a minute Team Up assist with the plus 200% 50% damage is actually pretty good. Yeah? Consider the fact that even without this assist mode, the team up is like 5 to 10% of what the hero can do, right? For raiding though, I mean, I've been to Red Raid. These days, some of my friends took me there, and it's really grateful for that. And the damage is way too strong for any team up to survive. So and for raiding, I don't think we should just bring the team up, with them. So for that kind of situation, I would use team up as full passive. All right. So in short, now the team up 2.0 is wonderful because you can choose different mode for different purposes, and it's great. It's meant to be this way. Yeah, the team up. Now, the next question is that which team up to unlock? Knowing all this, like I can do active, assist, or passive. It really depends on how much commitment you have with this game, how much you're willing to support this game for purchasing team up, because unlocking through the Eternal Splinter is going to take a while. It is in general quite expensive when it comes to unlocking team up using the Splinter, but there are other ways to get team up using gold or G as well. So I don't know. I mean, to answer this question, which team up to unlock, really, I think knowing that I can use a team up for active, it is really about whether you're a fan or not of that team up. Because with the team up you get extra costume in a sense, because the team up will be with your hero running around. There will be some voice acting as well. It's not a lot, but there are some. And but last but not the least, you could unlock team up based on the passive that he or she give for raiding scenario. So yeah, I mean, now is a lot of flexibility, not like last time whereby unlocking team up is merely just going for the passive, and that is the end game. And I always feel a little bit disappointed the game was designed that way, because team ups should be something like Heroes, whereby you're a fan, you like it, you unlock it, have fun, bring him along, bring her along, kind of like gameplay, rather than just going for the stats and just like the fifth artifact. So now it's no longer a case. So it's great, a lot of freedom out there. If you have a lot of financial support or a lot of time to farm Eternal Splinter, you can keep unlocking team up as well, on top of whatever you're doing. All right. Okay, first let's talk about passive first, because some of you maybe, I thought some of you are still very much using team up as passive, and that's fine, nothing wrong with that. There are team up now has before it has 3 passive powers. Now it also have 3 passive power, but now one of them is a fixed one on team up, while the other 2 you have to put some point to it. But by and large, the same thing. I mean, basically you dump all 60 points into the whole tree, and then suddenly you got 3 passive power. There are 2 approaches when it comes to passive. You could either unlock the team up that benefits certain hero type. So for example, Drax is great for melee. Spider-Woman I think has a +1 strength. Harvard has energy buff. Some would have a mental buff as well. So Whiffs is for movement. So there are different team up designed with a theme for different hero. You could potentially unlock a set of it that cover most scenario, and I can't cover everything here today because it would make this video run really long, but I will cover this area in the upcoming video. If you are interested to know which team up to unlock based on the whole entire roster, if you're not interested in unlock everything, just want to unlock those team up that benefit the majority of hero type, I will have a video for you. Alright. Or another approach is that use a generic team up, like Agent Coulson is a good example. It's free. You just need to do the Omega event, and it has generic benefit like 240 damage rating, 120 crit hit rating. So that's great. You can use these 2 stats passive for every hero you have, one approach is to collect gear for this generic team up, and to swap the gear as you swap your hero for some leveling or some end game content, because the team up 2.0 gear now is really good. I've seen those even like 3% of the base, which is like 120 damage rating of that particular type, is is pretty remarkable, yeah, because you can have a few of them or 2 or 3 of them, and it all adds up quite nicely. So what you could do is that if you really use team up as just a passive, what I would do and what I will do as well is to designate one team up, and you use the team up inventory to keep the set of gear for different purposes. Like for instance, I want to keep one for melee, I want to keep one for range, keep one for physical, mental, energy, hybrid of physical energy, a hybrid of physical, mental, and then mental energy, and a hybrid of everything, right? So you can do you can do something like that as well for your team up. And I mean, you know, then you keep all this gear, just swap out when you play a hero. Because for me, sometimes I play a specific hero for like a span of a couple of days, so it is worthwhile to just do a swap there. Something to consider, not saying that you have to do it that way, or you can unlock team up to benefit certain hero types, so your selection will be based on that. But it's a little bit difficult, yeah, because some of the team up like Drax could be for like melee, but then melee could be something like physical, sometimes it could be, you know, physical mental and physical energy. So how are you going to get the team up gear to match with the hero you have? You can't. So you end up having to swap things around anyway, yeah. Okay, active, how to assign point. Now there is a very scientific way to do it. I'm going to show you how later in part 2 of the video if you stay on. But in the event whereby you say I have no patience for mathematics, you could either A, stay on my channel, because as and when I learn a team up, I'll share with you through a video on how to assign the points. But if you want a DIY, you can as well, and this is what I would suggest you to do. All the team up passive, not the passive for the hero, yeah? All the team up passive, usually there are 2 of them. Put 1 point in it. There's no point scaling up too high, because, you know, you think about it, right? Each power has 1 to 15 points. When you get 1 point into a power, you know, you get a certain amount. And if you get 15 points, you double what you have, right? But, you know, 1 point you already got half of the entire maximum, right? And you put another 15 points, or 14 more points to get a double. So it's not worth it to max out any power. So the first thing about assigning points, do not max any power. It's not like your hero, because team up has no hoba dancing issue, right? Team up also, everything is on cooldown or damage over time, so it's very nice. You don't need to worry about you know, having too many powers. The team up can do what it's supposed to do. They have a very intelligent way to do it, and they do it perfectly, not like us have to run around and then skip some of the power, so on. So first thing first, don't max anything. Trust me, don't max anything. Second thing is that 1 point on the team up passive. And after that, you have to distribute the remaining points, which is about 58 points of them, to all the active powers you have, right? But should you be distributing evenly? You could, if you just say, I don't really bother, right? I mean, I don't want to go through mathematics and so on. But, you know, it is more worthwhile for your pawns to note that melee power usually is better than the range one. So if you know that this special team up power is using the melee versus range, you should put a little bit more on the melee than on the range. Like for instance, Gamora, that I'll show you later. All right. Cooldown is actually better than the damage over time in terms of the DPS. And so again, you know, you probably want to put lesser points onto anything that's with damage over time versus those that are on cooldown. Now signature, like I always say for hero as well, is great for burst, but it's very poor. It's poor, not very poor. It's poor in terms of the damage per second, considering the long cooldown. Because whatever damage you would deal using the signature, you have to divide by 30 seconds. Because you can't repeat it, you know, often, right? You only repeat it every 30 seconds. So in contrary to what you would think, maxing or putting a lot of point in signature actually is not that great, you know, in the whole rotation cycle. But it's again, it's up to you, because if you use it for assist, then maybe the burst is something that you look for, but it's something that you probably have to go through in mathematics. I wouldn't put too many points on the signature. So in short, what I would do, for example, for Gamora would be something like this. I have higher points, like the 11 points, those are melee actually. The 10 points are the range. The 7 and the 9, the 7 is damage over time, 9 is the signature, and the 1 point is on the passive, and you can test it out as well, because as you move points around using the reset button, you can time your time to kill on some of the dummy in the training room, and you can see a difference between if you max all the passive versus you max certain power but you miss certain power kind of thing. You will see a thing get longer or shorter and so on. All right. And well, I mean, that is all that I would like to talk about Team Up. And I mean, in short, before I go into the next part of the video about the number crunching, just would like to reinstate that Team Up 2.0 is a good thing. I enjoyed it a lot, leveling some of the Team Up. I can visually see what the Team Up is doing, because now you have a few more power to play with for Gamora as well. I'll show you later. It's pretty fantastic to see. Sometimes she switch to gun, sometimes switch to like a Psylocke kind of like a blade and stuff like that. And it's wonderful to watch Team Up doing all this sort of stuff while you're also going around doing your own thing. Team Up is a lot tougher, so I would use Team Up active most of the time. I only probably use it for passive. For raiding environment. All right, so thank you for watching this part of the video. I hope it has answered some of the questions that in your mind about Team Up 2.0. Next part is about the number crunching. All right. So in terms of number itself, and maybe just want to come to this part now. Each teamer has a basic power, but the basic power is not being listed on the score sheet. So what you need to do is to reset the power of the team up and to go into a dummy to see what's the min and max, and also time the attack speed. So what I suggest you to do is that now, okay, so my Gamora right now is all this power here, right? Maybe I'll just demonstrate what she can do, and she can actually do quite a lot of very wonderful. This is the signature that she does, and after that she can do a gun thingy, and it's still not so it can like do a like Psylocke kind of thing, and after that hit really hard. Yep, and some of these are more like the basic for her, and after that she can switch to gun as well. So this is another power she has. So it's a lot of very wonderful stuff as well. So the first thing you like to know is that I always do something like this, right? Because if you want to compare Team Up against each other, like House Drax versus Gamora, then you have to take away all the gears and you reset all the things, and after they commit to it. So now you can observe the max and min, because then she does the you can see the max and min like 8 point something, 8.2, and then you sort of like after a while you can get the range right, and then you can use a stopwatch to time it. How many times she hit with the span of say half a minute or so on. So yeah, you can do something like that. All right, and after that, after you've done it, then you can start to assign points to her. Like just now I mentioned how I do it. Then you assign some points to her, and after that you can give her back all the gears. And maybe I just quickly do it. Oops. Maybe I just do something here. All right. And what you do is that you can go and go to this one here. Usually I go to this one. This one is not bugged. The other one is bugged. I prefer the DPS dummy, but it won't get respawn. So you come here, and then you observe how she does things. It's hitting pretty hard. I mean, I'm only 3 points to it. It hit like 200k, right? I mean, these are pretty encouraging number, and if I put more point to it, you see a lot bigger, and you can see when this guy die, despawn, so you can time it with different scenario you have, and you probably would come up with the same scenario I have now. So what I've done is that now, of course, I took down all the gear, and then I took down the number. So now let's look at a spreadsheet, right? So I put 1 rank, 5 rank, 10 rank, 15 is a max. For the opening shot, I look down the average because min and max. I know the cooldown, so I know what the total damage was, the damage per second, given this whole total damage. And I want to calculate, mainly I want to calculate, for each rank, how much additional DPS I'm getting. So for opening shot, for each rank, I get 519 DPS on without gear, without anything, right? And and you can also see that from the DPS perspective, 1 point will earn you actually half of what the 15 point is about. So I mean, of course, the DPS per rank, there's so-called like a diminishing return in a sense, because 1 point earn you 7k, while 15 point only earn you double of it. So in a sense, you can see it that way, although it is linear 519. So you do it for one, the range, and do it for melee. Now melee, like I mentioned to you, is going to be higher DPS, so 606, it's 519. So then you have a melee, which is the damage over time. That you have rank 1 to 15 as well. Then you see the number drop quite a fair bit. So I mean the number increased here, of course, but it's getting more and more expensive. That's what I want to say. And after that, you have the suppressing fire, which is the area 2 second kind of thing. So you add all these things. It's about 541. So it is better than the opening shot. But it's not as good as melee. So you do it for the other one, spinning blade, the one that like the Psylocke, falling lotus. So it's there. Flashing blade is the signature. So like I said to you, signature is not fantastic when it comes to the DPS. It is good for burst for signature, right? So always remember that. So what I've done is that I note down all the DPS gain per rank for each of them, because 60 rank is what you have. You can't. So you have to make the best out of your 60 ranks, right? And what I noticed that I need to I need to put aside 2 points for the passive power, the team up passive, yeah, not the hero one. I need to put aside 2 points, so I have 58 to play with, and I know that each rank of opening shot will gain me some DPS, and I can work out over a total of 3,155 DPS. You know how many percent of it come from each of the power. Then I distribute it according to the points that is suggested here. So that's why you see, if you remember just now, if you remember just now, I've got the 10.1 point, 10.11, 7, 9 kind of thing. It all comes from this spreadsheet suggestion. But you don't need to do the same thing like I've done. You just need to pay attention to what I said and distribute the points accordingly. Just knock down the signature and the damage over time a little bit, knock down the range a little bit, and you get optimal. Now, why do I know that it's optimal? Now, so I put back all the gear, all right? So I put back all my gear, I actually get something like this one. So after I put back all my gear, DPS of course has gone up, and I realized that each of them has their own DPS here, and I have a DPS per rank as well. And you see that my DPS per rank, because these are the rank, right? So I have rank 10, I got this DPS, rank 11, I got this one. This is very nicely fall under the range of like maybe 1.7 to 2.0, right? So it is nice because I've distributed all the points to get the max DPS out from each one of them, because I need to distribute, right? So if I just distribute it evenly, then some of them will get higher, some of them will get lower in terms of DPS per rank. So that's great. And then also after that, I work out the animation penalty. Basically, when I pick that many cooldown, okay, so this is not a cooldown. This is more like a damage over time. But when I pick that many cooldown, there is a penalty to the basic. So within the 30 second, 23 seconds is for the special power, which is fine because special power hits really hard, like 71k, 72k, 131, right, before crit. So it's wonderful. So normally when I calculate the end game DPS, I take into consideration of basic. But then in this case, because the basic really not much contribution, so I just ignore it, which is fine. Now, how do I compare with the hero? So what I've done is that we know the crit chance, crit damage, and brutal and brute damage. You can get it from here. Just want to show you where you know everything. So here is all this like with the gear, all this crit and so on. The brutal I believe is 300%, like everything in this game. So you can then use a formula to work out the average DPS, because this one gets scaled up with the crit and the brutal over time. So you have to imagine that over a time of say a fixed 100 minutes, then 100 seconds, then each second some may crit, some may not. So when they crit, then then you add all these things into average, and there is a formula for it. Check out the other video on the damage explained. Just sharing with you how to calculate this so-called boost. I call it crit and brutal booster. So we boost this one to 124. This is significant. Why? Because for 124,000 DPS, I compare to Rocket Raccoon after this recent tuning. Rocket Raccoon is about 1.2 million. So it's about 10% around there. And if you bring the team up to sort of like the dummy, you realize that, of course, it depends on your rotation, whether things are crit or brutal or whatnot. But you know, it is pretty encouraging. And I mean, these are all theoretical numbers. I just want to work out that, you know, if my hero would like to achieve the increase of 10% on the hero DPS, how much I need to work on my damage rating to reflect that. So it works out to be about 500, like I mentioned. And 500 is not easy to get the 500. I mean, even the team up passive, you can't get 500. So active in team up active is actually looking pretty good. So so I hope that you've got a chance to take a look at the your team up and just have fun with the team up. Remember, assign the point in distribution. And I was just looking at this whole pack here. I don't know, man. I mean, the $40 for a couple of team up seems a lot, but now looking at how things are going, I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think it's worthwhile to buy some team up, or are you going to unlock it through Splinter? Let me know. All right. Hope this is useful. Any question, any further requests on anything you'd like to know more about team up? Please just drop me a message in YouTube. I will not miss your YouTube message. I may miss your in-game messages, but I will not miss your YouTube messages. So thank you for watching. Yeah. Goodbye.